The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, everybody. We're so glad you could join us today. We have some webinar logistics first, just before we begin. All audience members have been put on mute for this webinar, but please share your questions in the question box, which you can see located in the control panel at the right side of your screen. And hopefully, if we get to the question and answer period at the end, if time permits, we will go to your questions. If we run out of time, don't worry, because we do have a dedicated email that we can ask or have you ask your questions after the presentation, and we can get back to you with an answer. We will also share the webinar slides with all participants and post a recording of the session within a few days. We're also investigating getting an ASL version of the presentation, so stay tuned for that as well. So we're very excited to be your speakers today. I'm going to introduce myself and my colleague David, who will take you through the introduction to the Benefits Wayfinder. And my colleague David is a senior program officer at Prosper Canada in the Program Delivery and Integration Department. And David focuses on technology-enabled financial empowerment solutions, including the Benefits Wayfinder. And I myself, I am a program officer as well in the same department as David, and I work with community partners to embed financial empowerment initiatives into their existing services. And I've been closely involved in the development of the Benefits Wayfinder, as well as a Disability Benefits Compass, which will also give you a sneak peek today. And I'd also like to thank Jenny Bolton, who is our colleague in our Learning and Training Department, who is behind the scenes working her magic on all the technical issues and set up for our presentation today. So David and I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are joining you from Toronto, which is situated upon traditional territories. The territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations and the Métis Nation. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Today, the meeting place of Toronto is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Prosper Canada, just a little bit about who we are. So Prosper Canada is a national charity dedicated to expanding the economic opportunity for Canadians who are living in poverty. As Canada's leading financial empowerment champion, we work with partners in all sectors to ensure that all Canadians, regardless of their income, have access to the financial programs, products, services, and advice that they need to help build their financial well-being. So we have a very exciting presentation planned for you today. We will be sharing the new Benefits Wayfinder tool with you and showing you how it works using an example of a case study persona. We'll also give you a quick introduction to a newly launched companion tool called the Disability Benefits Compass, which is a deeper dive on 4 of the key disability benefits in Canada. As I mentioned, we will try to have time for question and answers, so please do put your questions in that question box. And if we run out of time, which we have a lot of material to cover, so it's a possibility, we do have that email address. You can send us your questions and we'll respond to. So just before we go through the presentation, I'd like you to think about benefits that you feel are most important for either yourself and or for those you might support with their access to benefit navigation. And as we go through the tool, think about how you might use this tool to help yourself or others find those benefits. So we have 2 goals for you today. Help you understand how you might use the Benefits Wayfinder to support your work with clients, and make sure you're equipped to be able to share this tool with the general public and your clients, or those that you're helping to support with access to benefits. So you might be asking, why did Prosper Canada create this Benefits Wayfinder tool? Well, these statistics are quite shocking, and I'm sure many of you are already fully aware of these, but I will just give you a little context before we begin. So currently in Canada, over 1.7 billion, yep, that's a B as in billion, in benefits for low and moderate income Canadians go unclaimed each year. And over 8 million Canadians have lost their jobs or seen a drop in their earned income due to COVID-19. So for many Canadians who were already living on low incomes prior to COVID-19, the pandemic has just made their lives that much worse. And for those of you who are familiar with accessing government benefits or have helped someone else get them, you're aware that the process can be very complex. And disability benefits, the process of going through the application, are among the most challenging. So that's why the Benefits Wayfinder and the Disability Benefits Compass have been developed. So the Disability Benefits Wayfinder tool is a simple, it has intuitive navigation. You can use it as a virtual guide, and it was written in plain language. It has information on benefits people may be eligible to receive, and included are federal, provincial, and territorial government information and benefits. It's a one-stop resource with 4 different ways that you can search for benefits. And it can be used by clients individually, or practitioners can work with clients to help them with the benefits navigation process. And the tool was graciously funded by our sponsors, the TD Ready Commitment, TD Bank, and the Maple Leaf Feed Opportunity Center for Food Security. So we thank them for their generous funding for these projects. So just a summary on what the tool includes, but also what it does not include. So as mentioned, it does have all federal, provincial, and territorial benefits. And these are benefits that individuals and families will either increase their incomes or lower their expenses. Right now, we do not have municipal or local benefits and supports in there, although this is something that we've heard from others that this would be nice to have, and we are looking into that as a future iteration. The supports do not give a direct financial benefit, are not included. As mentioned, there are 4 different ways to search for benefits, and David will be taking you through live through the tool to see each of these ways. But just to summarize, as a sneak peek, we have what are called starting points, And they're groups or life phases. So for example, if you're just interested in the category of disability benefits, or someone has just lost a job and are interested in what kind of benefits fit that phase. There's a short questionnaire. You can answer 8 questions, or you can expand up to 13. And this gives a more customized view for the person filling out the questionnaire, more customized listing of benefits specific to their situation. You can just browse all the benefits and search for any in particular that you're interested in. And we have almost 400 benefits in the tool. And sometimes people say, well, you know what, I think I'm already getting all the benefits that I'm entitled to. But you can still select those ones that you're receiving and explore if there's any related benefits. So in other words, a benefit could be a gateway to get other ones that you might not be aware of. And you can see those as well. We have overviews of each benefit, but of course we can't answer every possible question. And it is available in English and French, but not available in any other languages at this time. So without further ado, we're going to get into our online live Benefits Wayfinder navigation. And we're going to be doing this by using a persona, Aisha, who lives in Ontario. She's married. She's a mother of 2 young children, one of which has a disability. She's a permanent resident of Canada. She's employed part-time, but is looking for full-time work. Her total household income is under $25,000 a year. And Aisha is not up to date on filing her taxes. She's worried about paying her rent and bills and may need childcare if in the future she's able to find full-time work. So now we're going to pass it over to David, who's going to bring up the Benefits Wayfinder, and I will answer the questions that he goes through the questionnaire as though I'm Aisha. So over to you, David.
Yeah. Can you hear me clearly, Janet?
Yes.
Awesome.
I can see your screen.
Awesome. So on my screen is the newly launched Benefit Wayfinder, and okay, before we go through the persona of Aisha, I'll quickly take you through how the tool works. So like my colleague said, Janet, there are 4 ways of using this tool. The objective of the tool is for it to be a virtual guide through which you can support your clients to find benefits that will empower them or find benefits that they are eligible for. So there are 4 ways. You can either, okay, this is the so the screen you see now is the home page, and subject to your location, you choose which province you're staying in or which province your client stays in. So for Aisha, we'll be selecting Ontario, and we have selected the Ontario. If for instance your client lives in Alberta, for instance, you select Alberta. So for Aisha, we're going to be selecting Ontario. That's the first thing, because subject to the location of your client will determine what benefits are available to your client in that province, and what federal benefits will be available to your client. So there are different starting points. On the front page, on the home page, if your client is not so sure of which starting point to apply, you can bring the client here, and there are different starting points, different key events that happen to people in life. One can be, is your client a newcomer? Is your client disabled? Did your client just have a child or caring for a child? So here are the starting points where your client can start from, to look for benefits, Then so that's the starting point. Then the next way to use the tool is to use the short questionnaire. For this particular one, your client will answer questions that are applicable to them, and eventually the tool will generate tailored or specific, generic or specific benefits that your client might be eligible to apply for. Then the third way of assessing the tool is by using the browse all benefits. So if, for instance, your client wants to see all the benefits that are in a particular province, so they come here and they can browse the entire benefits. Then another way, like Janet said, and that way, the fourth way is by coming to the starting point, and from the starting point, you can now select you're already receiving benefits, and from there you will see the benefits that you're receiving, and like Janet said, when you click on benefits that you are receiving, it can be a gateway to receiving other benefits. So there are 4 ways, and right now we're going to take you through a persona called Aisha, and we're going to use the questionnaire. So let's start. So as Janet said, she will do the role play of Aisha, and I'll ask her questions. Then we'll go ahead and click the relevant answers that Aisha gives us. That's Janet. So Janet, are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
Awesome. So Aisha, I'll call you Aisha. So Aisha, are you up to date on your taxes?
No, I have not done my taxes.
Okay, that's no. Aisha, so how old are you?
I'm between 30 and 49.
30 and 49, yeah. Aisha, what is your current citizenship status?
I'm a permanent resident in Canada.
You're permanent resident. Awesome. Aisha, are you working, or where does your income come from?
Currently, I'm working part-time.
Okay.
But I'm hoping to find a full-time job, but just
Awesome.
part-time right now.
Awesome. You're awesome. You're employed part-time. Awesome. All right. So Aisha, how much money does everyone in your household together make in 1 year?
We're just under 25,000, so almost 25,000.
Awesome. Yeah. So Aisha, including yourself, how many people live in your home?
There's 4 of us in total, my husband and my 2 children.
Oh, great, 4 of you. So Aisha, do you have, or do you care for any child under 18 years of age?
Yes, I have 2 daughters under 18.
Awesome. Aisha, are you or is anyone in your household living with a disability?
Yes, one of my daughters has a disability.
Oh, okay. Aisha, where do you live? Are you renting, living in social housing, own your own house?
Yeah, currently we're renting.
Okay, awesome. Aisha, by any chance, are you pregnant or expecting a child?
No.
Okay, Aisha, what is your length of stay in Canada since you turned the age 18?
10 to 20 years.
10 to 20 years, thank you. Okay, Aisha, are you, your parents or your spouse a Canadian veteran?
No.
No, all right. Okay, so do you have a parent or spouse who lived in Canada and is passed away, Aisha?
No.
Okay, awesome. All right, so yeah, so Aisha, we have 38 benefits that you might be eligible to. So at this point, I will click on the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. So a list of 38 benefits has been generated that Aisha can be eligible to. And so we'll just go down and see what these benefits are. So what you would notice is on the front page of each benefit, that's like the introductory page, it has a very quick introduction of what the benefit is about, So it has the introduction, a quick explanation, then it tells you about how much the person can get per month or per year. Then it also tells you if the benefit is complex. That's complex for us means that there are different stages, to being able to qualify or be eligible for that benefit. Then if it's simple, means you just take 1 or 2 steps and you're eligible for it. Then it also talks about if you need to have filed taxes or not to qualify for this benefit. Then something else you see on the front page is it tells you, what identifications you would need to be able to apply for these benefits. Yeah. So these are a list of possible identifications that might be required for this particular benefits. That's the assistance for children with severe disabilities. Something else you see here is, as you go along, you can mark, this is priority. You can mark each benefit according to priority. So because Aisha has a child with a disability, they might be interested in this benefit if she's not already receiving it. So she can mark this as a high, Then if she's already receiving it, she can click remove and remove it. Then it will come and leave on the left part of the site. Let me remove it. So if, for instance, she's receiving it, it will say, it will be removed because she has clicked remove, and you can see it's now on the left part showing that it's been removed. But however, if Aisha subsequently thinks, oh, it was a mistake, it's not the right one, she can come here, click, and it will come back to the list. Then then also this icon says that Aisha can add if she's already receiving this, she can click on this and it will move to benefits that she's already receiving, also on the left part of the tool. Then also, if for instance you are going to be meeting the client subsequently or regularly, so you can mark as seen, so that shows that you have seen this particular benefit and possibly you have decided either to apply for it or not. So it will save your time and guide you as to whether you need to look at that benefit again or not. So this is another benefit. So Aisha has a list of 38 benefits. So for this, because she's looking for a job, I would prioritize this as high. Then something else this tool does, I'll now, from the introductory, I'll now take you into the body of the tool. So into the body of the tool, you click and you come in and you get a high level, explanation of what the tool or the benefits is about and what you can derive and how you can apply. So the first thing you notice is that each benefit has a link. Like this is the Better Jobs Ontario. This link, if you click on it, it takes you direct to the government site where you will be able to apply for the benefit. Then the next icon is eligibility. This is very important, so it gives you a high level of the requirements, the eligibility criteria that needs to be fulfilled before your client is able to apply for the benefit. Then subsequently, the identification, it shows you the identification that your client might need to have before being able to, or while applying for the benefits. Then finally, it gives you a high level as to how your client can apply. So it makes it very, very straightforward for you to find the benefit you're looking for and also how to apply. So I would also, because Aisha has a child, she's also entitled to the Canada Child Benefit, which is a very prominent benefit it's a key benefit in Canada. So I also mark that high. So like we said, 38 benefits were generated that Aisha is eligible to apply for. So at this stage, you have generated the benefit for your client, and your client might want to go back and have the benefits reviewed and possibly you want to also attend to other clients that will need you to show them how the benefit Wayfinder works, or support them in finding benefits. So at this point, you would want to, because you might wonder, how do you save the benefits that were generated? As we can see here, there is the save session. So if you click on this save session, it brings you this ULR. So what do? You copy it. You copy the ULR. Let me do that. Copy, and you email it to yourself. So you put your email, right? So I'm going to put my email. You email it to yourself, one. Then also you email one to your clients. So what this does is that subsequently, when yourself or your client comes back to use the site, you don't have to start this going through the tool again. You just insert your ULR and you'll be able to generate or start reviewing your benefits from where you stopped. Because the tricky thing about the tool is that you can see clear my session. This clear my session means that if, for instance, I've helped Aisha and someone else comes, a different client comes, for me to be able to support that client using the tool, I need to clear this session. Otherwise, it will keep bringing up Aisha's information and details. So I need to clear it. So if I clear it, means I no longer have Aisha's information. So that's why the ULR that is saved and sent to my email and to my client's email, are very important. So from there they can find the continued reviewing their benefits. Then also, okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. Okay, this is a PDF you can also print. So let me show you a PDF of what would appear in Aisha's email and in my email. So this is a list of benefits as was generated by the tool after we put in the unique information that we collected from Aisha. So this is a list of all the benefits, the 38 benefits. And sorry, let me go up there. So you notice that the assistive device program, the Ontario Better Jobs Ontario and Canada Child Benefits, they are marked as high priority, and that's because initially I marked them as such. So now I'll continue and show you all the list of benefits that were generated. So yes, this is the last benefit that was generated. Then it now goes into details. So you see, the assistive device program, it now shows you the high level requirements by the government for applying, the eligibility, how to apply. This is what it will show you. The identification required for each applicant, and also the same thing goes for the Better Jobs Ontario. It gives you a brief introduction, a high-level introduction of what the tool is about. Then it goes further to show you the eligibility and also how to apply. Very important, how to apply. Then at this point, I'll go back to the Benefit Wayfinder. So in a nutshell, that's what you need to apply. Also, you can print. If you want to print, this is what you need to do. You can print, and the entire benefit generated can be printed, and Aisha and yourself can have copies. Yes. So another helpful tool here is the help icon. So the help icon is available for all province. So for this help icon, if for instance, I'm done with Aisha and she's leaving our agency and she's overwhelmed or worried as to whether she'll be able to get any further support, with how she can apply for the benefits or make inquiries. Each province has a list of agencies or partners that Aisha can call, to make inquiries or to meet in order for them to help her be able to apply for the benefits. So you see, for the Ontario region, these are a number of agencies that Aisha can contact. So the same thing applies to all the other regions, right? And and she can get there using the help icon. Then furthermore, we will go to the agency portal. So when we click on the agency portal, the agency portal, that's Prosper Canada portal, contains a host of other resources. So the first resource here is you can get a free training of how to use the Benefits Wayfinder. We have a recorded webinar that can be accessed in both English and French. So Aisha or yourself can always go to the tool and be able to have a personal training as to how you can use the Benefit Wayfinder. So the interesting thing is, the webinar, the recorded webinar comes in both English and French. So, depending on what you want. Then another tool here is who can benefit from the Benefit Wayfinder. So like we said, there are different starting points. It depends on what point you are in life or what point your client is in life. Is the client just leaving school, just had a baby or having a baby, or just moved to Canada, that's a newcomer. So depending on that situation, this, the tool will help such a person or a person like Aisha be able to find what support they can get from the government and what starting points they can rely on, right? So another tool here is the tool can support with filing of taxes. Interestingly, in Canada, 9 out of 10 people file taxes. But however, that's one person who hasn't filed tax. It's now, it's in the statistics of those who miss out on the 1.7 billion Canadian dollars available to support Canadians living in, with low income or that need support. So this section of the tool can help the client as to how they can get their taxes filed and be eligible to benefits. And another resource here that you can use with your client is called the action plan template. So sometimes a client is overwhelmed, 38 benefits. Where do you start from? How do you organize yourself? So this template is something that we developed, that can help the client, assess how they are applying for benefits. It's a step-by-step guide as to how a client can apply for benefits and keep track of each phase of the application and which benefits they're applying for. It's a very recommended tool. And finally, then you can also help us share this tool, that's the Benefit Wayfinder, through your IT department, of your organization. You can do that by inserting the name of your organization, and I think you need the help of your IT department here to help us share this tool. And so I'm so excited about the tool. There are so many features, and but for time, these are the key features that I'm able to discuss right now. So Janet, are there other things I may need to discuss, or I'll pass it to you now to discuss the disability benefit compass.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you, David. I know there's a lot more that people can explore once they get into the tool themselves, but thank you for covering those key elements of the Benefits Wayfinder. And what I'm going to do next is share my screen, and I'm going to be introducing you to a newly launched tool this past November the 8th called the Disability Benefits Compass. And I think I mentioned in the introduction that the disability benefits can be the most complex to navigate, and they have many steps to be able to apply. And they require medical professionals to complete a lot of the forms for a lot of the benefits. So this tool was developed to make that process easier and to incorporate the experience of both people living with a disability and staff who support people with access to benefits. The tool was funded in part by the Government of Canada's Social Development Partnerships Program, their disability component, and it was designed by people with disabilities and staff supporting access to benefits as part of a pilot project in British Columbia. If you go to the About page, it'll give you a lot more information and show you who was involved and is involved in that pilot project, which is still ongoing. In addition to going to the site directly, as you see on the screen, you can also get to it from the Benefits Wayfinder. So I'm just going to flip back to the Benefits Wayfinder. And here, if you go under Starting Points and you go under Disability Support, you'll see here that it says View the Disability Benefits Compass. So you can go directly to it from here, or there's 4 key benefits that are in the compass. If you are in them in this tool, you will also be directed if you like to go to that tool. So if I click that, it takes me to the home page of the Disability Benefits Compass. And from here, you can take a look at the 4 key disability benefits for persons with disabilities by province and territory that are deemed to be the 4 key ones that at a minimum, people should be aware of if they don't already have them. And so what is different about the Compass versus the Benefits Wayfinder? Well, as I mentioned, this was developed by people with disabilities and by people who are supporting them get access to benefits. And we've incorporated into this tool, so it's in effect a deeper dive on these 4 key disabilities benefits based on the experience of the challenges and finding what works, what doesn't work, what resources are helpful. And they're embedded into this tool from those experts across Canada. So the 4 benefits that you'll find here, and you'll see you will go by province as well, similar to the Benefits Wayfinder. For every province and territory, you will have the provincial or territorial unique disability benefit, and then everybody will be presented with the same 3 federal benefits: the Canada Pension Plan Disability Benefit, the Disability Tax Credit Certificate, and Registered Disability Savings Plan. And I want to note here that you see here, there's a little important notice up above about before anyone applies for benefits. This was a key item that those that we worked with said people must be aware of before you even venture into trying to get disability benefits. And that's the need to have a doctor or medical professional who will need to be filling out those forms. So you can go to a section here that'll help people who don't already have a doctor or a nurse practitioner or other medical professional, find with one who will work with them so that they can even begin this process. At the beginning, you can go in and find out how to use the tool. So there's a captioned video which describes the key benefits, which was created and filmed by our Disability Alliance BC team who were in the pilot. And there's also a website instruction section as well. If someone needs help, if they're doing it by themselves, or if they have someone who's helping them, such as a caregiver or a peer support or an advocate. So it can be used by many different people, including people with disabilities themselves. And similar to the Benefits Wayfinder, it was written in plain language, and it was also had an accessibility review done to ensure that it's laid out and it has a navigation that is accessible. You'll notice at the top here, it has a light dark mode, which is one of the key accessibility features that was requested of this site. And it also is available in English and French. So I'll just tell you some of the key highlights of it. I could probably spend a whole hour on it, but just quickly go through for you. If we take a look at the Canada Pension Plan Disability Benefit as an example, you'll see that there's a quick little introduction here telling what it is and how much money approximately per month someone might expect to get if they are eligible. When we go into it, you'll see the features are similar to what you see in the Benefits Wayfinder. Where the difference lies is in these type of special important information with scattered throughout the sections that you see below. Where applicable, the people with disabilities and the advocates who helped create this have given us tips, they've given us resources, frequently asked questions, examples, and identified challenges that someone might encounter at each step of the process. So I'm just going to quickly show you the apply section. So whereas in the Benefits Wayfinder, you can click and go to the government site directly where you'll get the detail. In here, we have a step-by-step process for someone to go through to get this particular benefit. You can either skip ahead or start from the beginning. And if I go into just one of the sections to show you, it's done strictly step by step. So it makes the process very easy and in a logical order. So if I collect no there, it's done by sections as well. So there's lots and lots of information in here. And to make it more digestible, every step will have sections to open up and make it easier to digest. And where applicable, each section will have frequently asked questions that either the people with disabilities and or the advocates have encountered at each of these steps. So you can go through the questions and find out if you're encountering these questions, here's some answers as you're going through that step. You can continue all down to the end. And the really other unique aspect of this is going into the after you apply. So a lot of people that we interviewed and spoke with as we were developing this with them is that a lot of people weren't really sure what to do after they apply, what to expect. Like, should I be contacting the government to find out what's happening? You know, if I do, where should I go? What happens if I get one of those dreaded denial notices, which for those of you who might be familiar with disability benefits, that is more common than you would think. People can expect to get denied on their first, second, and even sometimes their third application. So this will go into all the different aspects of what you need to do if it's approved, and more importantly, what you would need to do if your application is denied. And it walks you through the steps. Similar to the Benefits Wayfinder, it'll also take you through to, the links are all live, and they will take you to either the government site for that, and or it'll take you to any of the resources that have been developed by the advocates themselves, which is really where a lot of the value add comes. And all of the questions that are throughout the steps are also consolidated at the end for that particular benefit. It also has a glossary, which is describing what these terms are that people might see on the application forms to understand exactly what that means. And this has turned out to be a very popular section. And I just want to go back to the home very quickly and show you. We have resources that are on each of the benefits where applicable. And these are where the information that are kind of through experience by the people with disabilities and the advocates that are going to help you as you go through each step. So for example, one of the main barriers, as I mentioned, to getting disability benefits is not having a dedicated nurse or doctor. So this will help you go and find a doctor or a medical practitioner. If you need help at any point in the steps, you can go to a help section, or you can go in the bottom here, similar to the Benefits Wayfinder, where you can go and get a listing of by benefit who can help you with that particular benefit. So it's actual organizations that have identified themselves as being able to work with clients on that. I'd also like to ask if anyone is an organization who can support on these disability benefits, please do let us know, because this is a fluid list. We'll be continuing adding to this as we become aware of more organizations that can help with this. I think that's everything, except you can go back to the Benefits Wayfinder from here. So you can go back and forth between the two. If you've exhausted everything that's in here and you still want to know about more disability benefits besides these 4 key ones, then you can go back to the Benefits Wayfinder and then proceed to look at the full other listing of disability benefits. So I know that was very quick, and but we just wanted to make sure we showed you that new tool. And if you have any questions on that, please do put them in the chat box, or you can send it to the email that we'll give you at the end. So what we have next in our presentation are tips, but they're there for your reference. I'm not going to go through them because they're what David and myself have just talked about, but they are in the presentation for your reference. And what we do have for you is free online training. So we have a Foundations of Access to Benefits course that can help you gain the essential knowledge and skills to be able to support your community members with access to benefits. This course opened in February, and once you register, you will have up to 6 weeks to complete it. It is a self-directed online learning module course, and we estimate it'll take you approximately 3 to 4 hours to complete it. And upon completion, you will receive a certificate of completion. You'll also get a practitioner guide to support your use of the tool, and you'll also have access to further training. Now, I want to note that it's free until the end of the year. So starting in January, it's going to transition to a paid course. So if you're interested, please by December 31st, register, and then you will have the first 6 weeks in January to complete it at no charge. So really helpful and great course if you're interested. We also have an upcoming event also related to access to benefits training. And this is a free 90-minute interactive workshop for frontline practitioners. And in it, you're going to learn the importance of access to benefits. You're going to review key skills when you're having benefits conversations with those you're supporting. And you'll also get to practice using the Benefit Wayfinder tool. That's coming up on December the 7th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there is in the presentation a place for you there to click where it'll take you where you can register. So I believe we have some time for questions and answers. And I'm going to ask Jenny if you see any questions in the question box.
Yes, we have one question that I was hoping either of you could answer, and that is, does the tool, the Benefits Wayfinder, direct low-income renters to the $500 one-time benefit from the federal government in 2022?
I'd have to, I don't know, Dave, if you know off the top of your head. I believe we had that when it was the previous version, which was the COVID emergency tool, but we would have to go in and take a peek. I don't know off the top of my head, but I could find out for you, unless David knows right off the top.
I'm not certain we have that right now, but there are other related benefits. And like the tool is, we keep updating these benefits, So I'm not exactly sure that that particular benefits it's included right now, yeah. But thanks for drawing it to our attention. Our development team is going to update that particular benefit. Thank you.
I have one other question here, and one is, how frequently are these federal and provincial benefits updated?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, David.
Yeah. So on the average, it depends on province. So on the average, different province updates at different times. So, but for us, what we do is that we have two major updates per year. So every year, okay, the tool in particular is updated every 6 monthly. So there are two major updates every 6 months. So that's how we keep track of the different updates that that might be made by the different province. So province have different times. Like BC, most times do their 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 changes to benefits sometime in January, so as other province. So it depends on the province. But for us, we try to do regular updates, but specifically we do major updates twice a year. But yeah, generally we keep updating as we find changes. Thank you.
And also, I just wanted to note that we do have the dedicated email for the Benefits Wayfinder, benefitswayfinder@prospercanada.org. And we do please encourage you, if as an example, the one that was just mentioned, if you do know of a benefit and or you know of a correction that has just happened, we do welcome you to let us know. We do that with the disability benefits compass as well. So if we get a notice saying, hey, we just heard that this changed, we will change it as we're notified. So in addition to the regular twice a year thorough review, we will also do it in between if we hear about it, because we do monitor news, but also if we're made aware of it.
I have one final question, and it was, is the Benefits Wayfinder supported or approved by the government for assurance of accuracy of information?
The government,
Okay.
oh, sorry, go ahead, David.
Okay, yes. So we work closely with the government, right? And like I explained in the course of my presentation, each of the benefits has a link that takes you directly to the government site. So ultimately, what we do is to help you, what the tool does is to give you like a simplified way of finding what benefits you are eligible to, or that your clients are eligible to. So ultimately, for you to apply to those benefits, you have to, click on the link that we present to you that will now take you to the government site. And what we do, we try to simplify, because a lot of the government sites have very kind of ambiguous language. So we try to make it simpler and more accessible to every Canadian. So on the issue of whether the government approves us, we are basically enhancing what the government does, because eventually, when we help you find the particular benefit that you're entitled to, you can then click on the provided link that will take you to the government site, where you can then pick up your applications and apply. Thank you.
Okay, great. Are there any more questions, Jenny?
That's all the questions.
Great, thank you. So again, we'd like to thank you so much for your interest in the Benefits Wayfinder and our new Disability Benefits Compass tools. And you can see there we have our contact information for Prosper Canada. If you're not already signed up for our newsletter, please do. There's a lot of great information on this field in there. Also, you'll see the link to go to the online training, and there's many free trainings in addition to some paid courses. And as mentioned a few times, if you have see anything that needs to be corrected, or anything you think would be good to include, or any other features, please do contact us at the Benefits Wayfinder dedicated email there, benefitswayfinder@prospercanada.org. And we do welcome all suggestions as well as any questions you might have. And there's also on both an online survey if you'd like to complete that as you go through the tools. So again, on behalf of David, Jenny, and myself, thank you so much for attending this introduction to the Benefits Wayfinder, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.